Hello everyone, my name is Claudius Kazan. In this video we start talking about the minor keys. We're going to take a look at the three forms of the minor. I'm going to perform for you the last four lines from the number 24, Robert Starr's Rhythmic Training book, and Solfege number 20. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's start talking about the minor keys. On the tablet here, I have a little schematic with, let's talk about the relationship first of the minor key in relation to the major key. All right, so on the tablet here, I have key of C, okay, with the tonic of C, of course, and the key of A minor with the tonic of A. Let's take a look first at the space between C and A. C and A, if you remember from intervals, it's a minor third. Okay? And I'm going to jump a little bit ahead to tell you that the relationship between the major and the minor will always be that minor third. All right? These two keys are said to be relative keys. And they are relative keys because they share the same DNA. They share the same key signature. All right? So there's no need to invent another key signature for the minor keys because they share it. They inherited from the major key that's associated with it, which means that every major key will have an associated minor key. All right? And in order to place the two of them apart, we go to this wonderful interval of the minor third. All right? So you can see in this case that the space between C and A is that of a minor third. All right? Minor third down, that is, from the major key. All right? So if you're given the minor key and you want to find out what the major key associated with it is, you have to go up by a minor third. All right? But it's always that interval of the minor third. All right, let's take a very quick look now at the circle of fifth, our friend here, circle of fifth. And you can see on top here how I have the key of C and the key of A minor highlighted in yellow. All right? And that space between them of that minor third, C to A, and they are said to be relative keys. So remember, this relationship of relative, it's always associated with major and minor keys, and always the interval of the minor third. So if you know the major key, go down a minor third to find out your minor key. If you're given the minor key and you need to find out what the major key related to it is, you go up a minor third. All right, very good. Let's look in here. This is the relationship between the key of G and the key of E minor. All right, so G, capital G, that means G major, with its associated minor key, E minor. Why? Because the space between E and G, or G and E, is that of a minor third. All right? So this is how you associate the two of them, that minor third. Let's take a look at another one. This one is D major, right? Capital D, and B minor. That's because D to B is a minor third. All right? Great. Let's take a look at another one with flats this time. This is F major and D minor. Again, the space between them, the space between the tonics of the two keys is that of a minor third. All right? Very important interval there, the minor third. And here's yet another one, and the last one today. Next time we're going to look at all of them in a little more detail. B flat and G minor. That is because B flat to G is a minor third. All right? So you really need to know your minor thirds in this case. All right, great. I'm going to go to the piano now, and I'm going to show you exactly how A minor is related to C major. All right? They share the same key signature. What's the key signature for C major? No flats, no sharps, right, in the key signature. Therefore, A minor will not have any sharps or flats in the key signature as well. They share the same key signature. They are related, same DNA, right? Very good. And I'm going to just play for you A minor, starting on pitch A, no sharps, no flats, and see how that sounds. All right, so follow me at the piano. And I'm going to start on pitch A, okay? And I'm going to string the 7 pitches up, starting on A, no sharps, no flats. And backwards as well. Sounds halfway decent to me. Notice one thing here which is really, really important. Okay, actually, a couple things. Number one, what differentiates the minor key from the major, number one, is that first third in the very beginning of the scale, from A, B, C. Okay, that third is that of a minor third. In the major scales, we have it as a major third. Remember A major? Now, A minor, very important element in here. The first minor third is to be minor in a minor key, not major. Okay? We also have the minor 6. Okay? In the A major, it was an F sharp. Okay? And also we have in this case, we have a minor 7th from the tonic. Sounds better on the way down for me than on the way up. Now, I want you to notice something very important. If you remember from the major keys, we talked about the presence of the leading tone. If I string all these pitches up from A, you'll notice one thing. There is no leading tone. G to A here at the end between scale degree 7 and 8 is a major second. All right, so because of this particular minor key is kind of a weak key. It doesn't have a leading tone, okay? This is called, by the way, the natural minor. The natural minor because I haven't done yet anything to it to create a leading tone or to modify it to sound better, right? It just takes the key signature and I'm just laying down all the pitches there and there. So this is the natural minor, right? Notice that it does not have a leading tone. And because of that, harmonically, it doesn't really make too much sense. If I were to go from A, the chord of the A, for example, and I want to go to the 5 chord, doesn't sound too bad, but it sounds a little modal to me, right? Something from borrowed from maybe folk music or something like that. It really doesn't sound like. What if I do something like this? It would sound a little more convincing if I had that G sharp in there. Okay? So people have thought, you said, you know what? That's fine. Why don't we just string the notes again, but instead of using G natural, we can bump that G up to G sharp. Oh, that harmonically makes a lot of sense. You saw that from me stringing the chord of the tonic to the chord of the 5, or the dominant, right? And I'm using G sharp, remember? And back to the tonic. That sounds a lot more convincing, okay? It reinforces the tonic, which is A in this case, but it creates a little bit of a problem here. Look at this. This interval here between the 6th and the 7th degrees, okay, has just gotten a little bigger than usual, okay? Instead of being a whole step like it was before, or a major second, all of a sudden it becomes even bigger and it becomes an augmented second. Okay? That's a little bit difficult to sing. Okay? Singers might have a little bit of a problem with that. You know, professional singers or trained singers, no. But, you know, amateurs might have a little bit of an issue going from F to G sharp. It also sounds a little more ethnic to me, you know, maybe music from the Middle East or something like that. So this interval of a augmented second between the second and the seventh degree. Okay? By the way, this is called a harmonic minor. Why? Because it makes harmonically, it makes sense. Okay? It reinforces the tonic by adding the leading tone in there, but it creates this little problem in here, the augmented second between the 6th and the 7th degrees. All right, so they came along and said, you know what? I think we can fix that also. What if, instead of using F natural, we can go up to F sharp? And it would sound like this. Okay, that sounds nice, right? We resolved all the problems. We have a leading tone. We got rid of that augmented second by bringing the 6th degree up as well. And it still sounds minor because this third in the very beginning, it's still a minor third. All right, but let's see what happens on the way down. So I'm going to leave the 6th and the 7th degree raised, and I'm going to come down from pitch A now. Ooh, that doesn't sound too good. All right, listen to this. Now, instead of going what you would expect, I'm going. So they said, nah, that cannot be. Sounds like a dog with a giraffe head or something like that. Like a really weird thing in here. So they said, you know what? On the way up, it's fine if you are raising these two 6th and 7th degree. But on the way down, you need to cancel them. So therefore, this melodic form, or the melodic minor. Why melodic? Because it makes sense melodically. It's easier to sing right now because you don't have that augmented second. It's easy to sing, right? So on the way down, the melodic form needs to be natural. I have to bring back the 7th and the 6th degrees when I'm moving backwards through the scale, okay? That's, let me go back here. So let's recapitulate a little bit what's going on in here. The natural minor is the minor that only inherits the key signature from the major. You just string the pitches and you don't make any modifications at all, okay? It's called natural, and obviously it's natural because it's as it comes, right, from the major relative. The harmonic minor, okay, has a raised 7th degree. Why? Number one, we need to create the leading tone, okay? And when you create chords, okay, you almost always need to use the a form of the minor that has a leading tone, and you know, the harmonic minor does. That's exactly why we create the harmonic minor, to create that leading tone, okay? Otherwise, you have a weak scale because you don't have a leading tone, all right? And but that introduces that problem between the 6th and the 7th degrees, and that is that augmented second, which is difficult to sing, right? It's not melodically, you know, too easy to deal with a harmonic minor. Therefore, they said, okay, let's yet create another form of the minor called the melodic minor, in which both the 6th and the 7th degrees are raised to get rid of all these problems. Number one, we need a leading tone. That's why we're raising the 7th degree. And also, by raising the 6th degree, now we don't have that weird augmented second in there, right? But on the way down, we need to bring everything down to natural, because it really sounds weird if we don't, right? It will sound like you're starting a major scale, but at the end, you make it minor. Nah, it doesn't quite work. All right, so remember, the melodic minor, okay, on the way down is natural. And I am showing you here on the tablet. This is the natural with the minor third, the minor sixth, and the minor seventh. Notice there's no accidentals. I haven't done anything. The key signature comes from C major, which is no sharps, no flats. All right? And I don't have a leading tone. I have a major second at the end, no leading tone. And therefore, they invented the harmonic minor, in which we raise the seventh degree, okay, but now we introduce that weird augmented second between the sixth and the seventh degrees. Notice one thing that's kind of weird in here. In the harmonic minor, you have 3 half steps. Okay, we haven't encountered anything like that yet. All major scales had only 2. The natural minor has 2, but this harmonic minor has 3. One between the second and the third, the other one between the fifth and the sixth, and the one between the seventh and eighth, because we created the leading tone. Okay, so kind of a weird scale in here, but harmonically it makes sense. That's why they named it harmonic minor. Next we go to the melodic minor, right, which tries to resolve that augmented second problem in here by raising the sixth degree as well. Okay, and now you have regular whole steps and half steps, and you have a leading tone as well. But on the way down, look what happens. We need to cancel the sharps on seventh and sixth degrees. The model works always the same, all right? But remember, you need to raise the seventh degree to create the harmonic minor, and you need to raise the sixth and the seventh to create the melodic minor. But then take them away if you're dealing with the descending form of the melodic, all right? So that's what we learned today. All right, so let's recapitulate really quickly. We have 3 forms of the minor: the natural, the harmonic, and the melodic. All right, and I showed you at the piano exactly what happens with these. We need to create a leading tone, right? Because the natural does not have a leading tone. Therefore, we raise the seventh degree and we create the harmonic minor. And the harmonic minor, it's the same on the way down too, right? The melodic minor has the sixth and the seventh raised, all right? Because we need to get rid of that augmented second that's being created in the harmonic. We need to mitigate it somehow, and we do that by raising the sixth degree as well, okay? But on the way down, we need to cancel these 2 accidentals, right? Bring them back down to their natural state, so that the scale sounds like a minor scale on the way down as well. Very good. Next time we're going to look at all the other minor scales. I've only touched upon a few of them right now. We looked at C major and A minor, G major and E minor, D major and B minor, F major and D, and B flat and G. Remember, the interval between these 2, it's always that of a minor third, okay? So if we were to do some exercises next time with these minor keys, for example, I'm just going to go ahead and give you E flat major, for example, as the major key. E flat major, can you please find for me what the minor scale associated with this would be? And number 1, remember, they share the same key signature, right? And let's see, if you know the major key, think of it as being on top, right? You have to go down a minor third to find out what the minor is. What's a minor third down from E flat? Well, remember from intervals, E to C is a major third, so E flat to C is minor. Okay, so C minor would be the minor key associated with E flat major. What would be the key signature for C minor? It would be the same key signature as E flat major, which has 3 flats in the key signature, okay? All right, so let's string out in our heads the pitches for C minor, the natural form first, okay? So we have to take care of 3 flats: C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. Those 3 flats, right? and that gives us the minor natural form. All right. How about the harmonic form? Remember, we need to raise the 7th degree. That's the only thing we have to do. So we keep the key signature, of course. That comes from the relative major. And we raise the 7th degree. So C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B natural, C. Why B natural? Because from the key signature, I inherit B flat, and now I have to cancel that B flat, bring it up 1/2 step to create the leading tone. So now B to C is, a minor second, which creates my leading tone. But I have that problem now, remember, between A flat and B natural. That's my augmented second. That will always be there in the harmonic minor, okay? Now, how about the melodic minor? You have to raise the 6th and the 7th. So C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural, B natural, C. Okay, and I'll show you that at the piano as well, so that you can see. So remember now we took E flat major, okay, and we found out that C minor is the relative minor of E flat, 3 flats in the key signature. So one more time, the natural minor. Three flats, E flat, A flat, and B flat, right? That's fine. So that's my natural minor. The harmonic minor, I have to raise the 7th degree. All right, so you can see now I have a leading tone, but I have this weird interval here of an augmented second between A flat and B natural. All right, so they said, okay, let's mitigate that. Let's raise the 6th degree as well. All right, but I can't really go like that on the way down. That sounds weird a little bit, so on the way down, I need to cancel those two. All right, so you can see why the melodic minor on the way down, okay, sounds exactly like the natural minor on the way down. All right, very good. We'll do a little more exercises with this. We're going to look at all the other ones next time, and I hope you guys understand this, okay? All you have to do right now, remember these very few things. There's 3 forms for the minor: natural, harmonic, and melodic. The natural inherits the key signature from the major key, no change is made. On the harmonic minor, you need to raise the 7th degree to create the leading tone. On the melodic minor, you raise both, the 6th and the 7th. But on the way down, the melodic becomes natural. Okay? So that's pretty much it. That's all I had for today. Next time, we're going to look at the circle of fifth, and we're going to talk about all the other ones out there. Remember, these are called relative keys. The pair between major and minor, it's called they're relative keys, and they share the same key signature. Okay? And you can see this from the picture of the circle of fifth that I had here originally on screen. You can study it between now and next time if you want. If not, I'm going to cover all the other ones that I haven't talked about today. All right? And we'll do some exercises with that. Very good. Excellent. Let's go now and deal with solfege number 20. Okay, let's talk about the challenges here. Number one, it's written in E flat major, right? 3 flats in the key signature. All right, and how do we know it's an E flat major? Well, number one, it's the key signature. And number two, just look at the very end. You can see that it ends with an E flat. So that tells you immediately it's very likely, 99.9% that you are an E flat major. If you look at the beginning starts with a G. All right, that's not E flat, but G is also in the tonic chord. We'll talk a lot about, tonic chords and so on when we talk about triads and so on. But that G also belongs to the tonic chord, so it's a valid note to start with in the key of E flat. All right. The time signature is not difficult. It's 3/4. but it has a lot of intervals and leaps. And you can see on the last line here, not on the tablet, but also on the printed version, there's a chromatic scale. We'll talk about chromatic scales a little later. All right, there was a big portion of a chromatic scale in there, which is kind of difficult to sing. So you have to sing your pitches. Very important to go through the pitches again. I can't stress this enough. Really, aside from the rhythm, leave the rhythm aside. Just go and sound the pitches very carefully. Sol, la, si, re, fa, mi, fa, la, do, si, mi, re, sol, and so on. All right, for all of these. What I just played and sang right now, it's actually quite easy because that's the first line. But things get a little bit more difficult. Hopefully you guys are taking this seriously. You're studying it. You're going through it slowly first. I lowered the metronome here to 80 instead of 90. Okay, just because I feel that these pitches are quite difficult. Sol, la, si, re, fa, mi, fa, la, do, si, mi, re, sol, mi, la, sol, si, mi, do, si, re, sol, si, do, mi, fa, si, sol, fa, mi, do, mi, la, si, do, re, fa, si, do, si, mi, fa, si, la, sol, do, sol, fa, si, re, do, si, re, fa, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, la, sol, si, mi. Notice that I slowed down a little bit here. I didn't put a retardando at the end, but it's very customary as you approach the end, slow down a little bit, and at that point you can ignore the metronome. So, mi, let's see if I... All right, very good. Please study this. It's not easy at all, especially with all these accidentals and leaps of very weird interval like E natural to B flat. Okay, and then the chromatic scale at the end. Okay, so this is something you study, not sight read. Okay, very good. For next time, I'm going to assign you 2 more solfeges. Please request them from the classical music theory guy at gmail.com. So one more time, the classical music theory guy at gmail.com. That's the address. Very good. Let's go to Mr. Starr. For today, you had to prepare number 24. Okay, and I will perform the last 4 lines from the number 24. The challenges here is the conducting in 6, okay? And he wants you to conduct in 2 different ways, okay? The first way is straight 6, which is down, 2 to the left, 1 big to the right, and 2 up. That's the regular 6 conducting formula, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is if you don't have any dotted bar lines in between. If you do have dotted bar lines, you have to follow and see exactly what does he want me to do. And in this case, you can see from the description up there, it says that you should conducting on that 2-2-2 formula. But the way we conduct the 2-2-2, it's funny too. If you go back to the number 10. Just look at the number 10 for 1 second. This is where, for the first time, he shows you how to conduct that 2-2-2. Okay? And basically what it is down, to the left, 2 to the right, and 2 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess that splits it better 2-2-2 than the other one, the straight one with, you know, it's more for when you think 3-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as opposed to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So take a look at number 10 if you really have trouble conducting the number 24, especially those with dotted bar line. Okay? So let's go back to number 24 here, and let's see if there's anything else that we need to look at. Yeah, he really doesn't give you any warning of when he wants to switch. It just switches very unpredictably from one set of conducting to the other, which makes it kind of difficult. And also you have to practice because, for example, if I go the last 4 lines, the first measure in there, okay, it's a measure with the dotted bar lines. And remember, he's thinking 2, 2, and 2. So that means 1, 2, another 2 this way, and another 2 up. Okay, so ta, 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 ta. I just perform for you the first measure really slowly. On the second one, okay, you conduct normally because there's no dotted bar line, so you could go ta, 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 okay? That needs to go all the way there. So 2 quarter note rests, right? Or a half note rest. Ta, 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 ta. Okay? And you have to do this, you know, pretty quickly because you're performing. You're going from one measure to the other. All right. Number 24, Robert Starr, Rhythmic Training book. Last 4 lines with the metronome at 90. Let's go. Ta, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. 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 Ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, ta. All right. That was a challenge, definitely. Switching between these 2 sets of conducting and going back and forth. And remember exactly, you know, going between the straight 6, which is down, 2 to the left, 1 big one to the right, and 2 up, and the other one that's down, 1 to the left, 2 to the right, and 2 up. Very, very challenging. All right, number 25 for next time. This is in 7/4, so I'm expecting more challenges in here. Okay, and you can see the dotted bar line again. Take a look at exactly how he wants you to conduct. There's 3 ways you can conduct in 7/4, so I'm going to let you guys figure it out, and I will perform again the last 4 lines from the number 25 for next time. We're getting close here to learning about triplets, so please stay with this. You're going to thank me later when your sight reading and your rhythmic reading improves a lot. All right? Very good. In my next video, again, we continue talking about minor scales. We're going to look at the circle of fifth again, all the other scales that, the minor scales that I haven't talked about today, right? And we'll talk again, we'll keep in mind the natural, the harmonic, and the melodic forms, okay, and why these forms are there, okay? 2 more solfeges, please request them from me, and the number 25 from Robert Starr. All right, until next time, I want you guys to stay healthy and safe, and I'll see you when we continue talking about the minor scales. Be good.